Nope. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to None Given, the podcast where we literally have no fucks to give about what we're talking about, and I don't care who we offend. So there it is. Today we are going to talk a little bit about self-help books and motivational speakers. As ever, I am Sean, and I am joined by my good friend Meka. We just talked briefly before this episode, right? And Mika's on the fence about this issue.
I am.
And I'm not. So self-help books, explain to me or give me a reason as to why they're not complete and utter bullshit.
Okay, so no pressure. I am a self-help book queen.
Mm-hmm.
My Kindle, my everything. I love a feel-good type. This is how you change your life by doing this.
Okay.
This is how you do that. Even though they don't change my life. They don't change my life. But they make me feel good.
Okay,
they make me want to change my life and be better at certain things.
Okay. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But why don't they change your life?
Because I take this back to school. It's how you apply things.
Yeah.
So it's on me. I'm not applying all the information that I'm reading. I mean, it sounds good at first. Like, there was this one book I read. I think it's like The Power of Now or something like that.
Right.
And it says if there's something that you need to do it within 5 minutes or else you're not going to do it. And that really worked for me for about a week. I was like, oh, dang, I need to wash some dishes. You know what? Let me get up now and do it. Got up now and did it. Then about a week later, it was like, oh man, I really need to wash some dishes, but I'm scrolling on my phone. Like, this is what I'd rather be doing right now. So I think it really works for people who help. I mean, for people who can really apply it and maybe are disciplined. I'm not disciplined.
See, the way I look at it is not that you're not disciplined. It's that you are intelligent enough and have enough free thought to do things on your own terms. You're not having to do it as the book tells you. Now, my problem with the whole thing is, and I'm going to show some books, right? Yeah. So I think you have this book too, right? But for the audio only guys, right? It's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Okay? So this book is #1 New York bestseller, whatever, all that shit. Mark Manson, the guy is, who looks a bit like Perez Hilton in his picture, which is kind of weird. You cannot teach someone how to not give a fuck. Now, you either are born with that, or you go through something that makes you adopt that. Now, a lot of people say they don't give a fuck about stuff, but very few people really don't give a fuck, which is why I think trying to teach people that is dangerous, because the people that really don't give a fuck, well, we might need to censor this episode, or at least put a warning on it, right? Jesus.
Yeah.
But the people that really don't care either end up being extremely successful because they power their way and become titans of business by any means necessary. Those could be people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Richard Branson. These kind of people, they do not give a F, all right? Because they're going to do what they need to do to get to where they need to get. These other people that really don't give a fuck tend to go the other way. And they're going to get theirs by any means fucking necessary because they don't give a fuck. So I'm taking what you have. So
Yeah.
by teaching people these skills of how not to care, very few of us are ever going to end up using them to great success. More people tend to use them to get ahead in life in a shady way. So I think like that book for me, as much as I have read it, and I read it on vacation and it passed the time and it was fine. It didn't teach me anything. It didn't, but it didn't piss me off. I just think that the strapline on the book is a counterintuitive approach to living a good life. And does not giving a fuck make you live a good life? Or do some people learn how to give a fuck a bit more?
So I have the audio version of this book, which is hilarious to hear him read, by the way. Wow. I think people tend to think that if you don't give a fuck about anything, you don't care about anything and your life is easier. But I don't think that's true. Sometimes it's some stuff that you should care about. Maybe not so much what others say about you, because I know he goes into that whole Instagram culture and all that other kind of stuff. But what worked for him to not give a fuck in his life and change his life and live a happier life isn't going to work for me or whoever else it may be. That was your formula. Everybody has their own formula to a better life. I say in quotation, air quotes. Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I want to believe in self-help so bad.
I do believe in self-help.
Oh, okay, yes.
I don't know how much reading someone telling me, it's so hard because these books inevitably give people a lot of comfort, or maybe they're just passing people's time. I don't know, but I do believe massively in self-help, but I don't believe in someone preaching to me on how I should help myself. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So the books like learning how to, and I'm not trying to downplay this guy's work, but look, this isn't a big book, right? And you're telling, and it's not a big book, and the text is pretty big. So you're telling me in, 204 pages is going to teach me what I need to know in my life. No, it's not. But I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical, and maybe I'm motivated enough to, or don't give a fuck enough just to be happy in what I'm doing, or maybe I'm motivated enough to find out a bit more of how to teach myself. I don't know. But so that's the book side of things, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about speakers?
The God. Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
My whole thing, even with what's his name of this book of the subtle art, Mark
Manson.
Okay, so the very first self-help I've ever read or really researched was You're a Badass at, I think there's different versions of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had the audio version first. And I used to read it walking every morning, whatever. I mean, listen to it walking every morning. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I should apply this to my life, right? Mm. The hype, but I don't want to call it hype. I'm going to call it hype. The hype that a book or person gets is the reason they're in the position they are. So what Jen Sincero or Tony Robbins or Mark, whatever his last name is, have done, they are living their greatest life because they've got a book that has become hyped up, I guess, and is now a number one or was a number one bestseller. That's why their life is so great. I can literally put any kind of great feeling, motivational words down on paper or online. And if it gets picked up and becomes popular, I will be the next Tony Robbins in this bitch.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I think is fuckery.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
Oh.
it's. I mean, so a guy who I guest on his podcast as well. His name's David. Maybe I'll link him in the description. We'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just be selfish and keep it to us. I don't know. He is a Gary V guy, right? So you familiar with
What
Gary
about
V?
Gary?
Right. So Gary V
Is loud.
is loud, and you know what? I'm loud, and that's fine,
Right.
right? But it's very easy for Gary V to stand up in front of a college or in front of a high school or in front of an elementary school and say you just need to wake up and fucking do whatever makes you fucking happy and cuss in front of these people and be able to justify the reason that he's cussing is because it shows passion. He needs to show people his passion, and that's fine. Gary V, this is fine. You are a multi-millionaire. So, yes, you're happy as fuck. Guess what? It's not just that easy for me to go, I'm going to do what makes me happy. Now, it's not as hard as some people would say it is, but it's also, you can't just quit your job, stop paying rent and say, well, what I really want to do is make wicker baskets for cats. I've got no experience in doing this, but I know it will make me happy. And Gary Vee says that I should just fucking quit and do that.
Okay, so to defend Gary Vee a little bit, because I have read his books. He's another one I have on my shelf. He does say, don't quit your job, but work hard. Like if that means a late night after working a 7-hour shift or 8-hour shift, you still want to work on your passion. Don't just go to bed. Go to work on your passion, even if that means losing sleep. I do believe in that. I do believe that is how you get, right now, I still work. Well, not right now because I'm on maternity, but I'll still work, and then we'll have a podcast and I have a YouTube. Like you don't give up on the things that you like. Gary Vee is a bit annoying because he does make it seem like it is 1, 2 equals 3. I mean, 1, 2 doesn't equal 3. I mean, 1, 2 does equal.
Math by Meka.
Y'all can tell I'm not good at math. I just there's not an easy success plan. There's nobody's success plan is going to be the exact same. That's why I said I'm on the fence. Like I feel like self-help books make me, and motivational speakers make me feel good. Mm-hmm. I feel like it is something I like to read and or listen to. It inspires me to be a better person, if that makes sense.
So I mean,
but it hasn't really changed my life, and I've been doing it for years.
Right. So for me, it gets a bit deeper into the psychology of it. Is you listen to Tony Robbins, you listen to Gary Vee, you listen to any manner of motivational speakers like Steve Jobs, or all these guys who are great orators. Even Barack Obama, to a certain extent, is a amazing motivational speaker. But and you're right, they make you feel better about yourself. Okay, so that ups your endorphins, and that makes you feel okay and accepted with what you're doing in your life. So it makes your life go smoother.
Yeah.
So all they're doing, they're not really giving you any advice, and you're not really even following any of their advice. You're just happier, so you're more productive.
Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. Is it, I remember a few years ago, I was less open-minded to this kind of subject than I am now. So, and Tony Robbins I've always known who he was, but then he had a thing come out on Netflix that showed how he puts his show on, and the amount of people that sign up and follow his show around and stuff like that. And I thought, this is going to be wild. It's going to give me loads of ammo to talk to people about how shit he is, and it's going to be great. But I watched it, all right, and I thought, fuck, he suckered me in.
Did he get you?
Because he's such an amazing speaker. Now, nothing he said made me change anything I do, but I came out of it and I believed that I could do what I wanted. but I'm not taking anything from him. I'm not using any of his plans, or I'm not following his thing or anything like that. But he's saying, look, just you're in a job. You know, you can do this. If you work hard, this will happen. You think, you know what? If I do just keep working hard, that will happen. So,
That's guaranteed, probably. Anyway.
but it's just so I think maybe a motivational speaker to me is more. I don't want to say valid because that's not a fair word, but is more acceptable because that's what they're doing. They're there to motivate you. You know, like a great sports coach is there to motivate you and roll you up and get you to go. The rest of it is just up to you.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think that is true.
you know, and I think the books that say they'll help you, they should just say this book's going to make you feel good. So the less self-help, more self-belief.
Oh,
Ooh.
I like that. I like that.
You know what I mean? It's like, because nothing happens without you. I could sit here right now, right, and say, Meka, I'm going to follow Tony Robbins' program. I'm going to spend $25,000 to get it all, and I'm going to become a millionaire in 3 years. And I bet you that entire $1 million that won't happen.
You never know.
But I might come out of it thinking, I'm happy.
Yeah. And in debt, but still happy.
And cripplingly in debt, yeah. But I don't know. I think it. I guess you know I'm the kind of person that relies on myself to do it, and I've never really felt the need to reach out for help on that kind of level when it comes to work and things like that. Because a lot of this stuff is based around your work, isn't it? If you're honest, I mean, there's obviously people out there that try and help you through your everyday life, but a lot of this is to inevitably help, so you end up with more money in your pocket. That's what a lot of self-help is about, really. Yeah. Especially the big names. I know there's obviously a lot of books out there that are more about self-belief and self-confidence and stuff like that, and that, all for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I feel like the ones that I mainly read, like again, the Gary V, the Jen Sincero, they're about money. You're a badass at making money. This is how you can quit your job. This is how, like, they're all, but that's because people want to quit their jobs. People hate their jobs.
But shouldn't we, you know, but so if we could, instead of wanting to quit our jobs, if we could learn that actually our job is okay and our job doesn't really matter that much, it gives us enough fun tokens to do what we want to do outside of our lives, outside of our jobs. That's also okay. I don't need to be a millionaire. I just need to have enough money to see my friends and have fun.
Yeah, 100%. I think that if you heard that, though, it wouldn't be worth buying, if that makes sense. I know that sounds horrible, but people are greedy. People don't want to just see their friends. People want to be rich. People, again, I go back to the internets. People want to have materialistic things that they think will make them feel better, when in actuality, that shit doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't. How many times have you ordered something from the internet and the best thing about it is ordering it and knowing that you've ordered it and it turns up and you're not really that bothered about it?
Yeah.
So many times you're like, shit, yeah, I fucking finally got it. I ordered it. It turns up. You're like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Still haven't used it.
I haven't used it. I've done it. But so like you say a lot of it's about like putting money in your pocket and that. So I have another book, which, okay. Right.
I hate that book.
So for the audio listeners, it's The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. And
fuck you, Tim.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry, you may not feel that way.
No, I feel like I want to burn this book. Because fuck you, Tim. The 4-Hour Work Week, escape the 9 to 5, live anywhere and join the new rich. Fuck you, Tim. Because not everyone has that life, and not everyone's in a position to do these things. And I just wonder, what I really wonder about these things is another New York Times bestseller. How many people have actually been successful off the back of these books?
I think once you become a New York Times bestseller, I think you probably see a lot of
Right.
success. I think.
So the author's successful. How many people do you think have read this book and have become successful?
A zero.
You
I've never seen anyone that's become successful say, "Oh yeah, I read this." Like it just goes into work ethic. It's not just. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know everyone who's gotten successful off of reading a book. But
I feel like you'd hear about it, right? I feel like if someone read the 4-Hour Work Week and then 2 years later was working 4 hours a week, you'd hear them everywhere going, "Listen, read this book. I did it, and I'm working 4 hours a week."
I got a book. I know you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, go.
The Secret. All successful people do say they read The Secret. Come on now.
Yes, they do. Yes,
I do hear that one. That's probably the only book I do hear people say it changed my life.
So, did you read it?
A few times. I'm still not rich.
I don't know what I'm missing. Like
that we don't apply it every day. Like I've even done this so far as of writing a check, because I don't know if you've like read it. It's like this lady wrote a check. I don't know how much, whatever, $15,000, and she looked at it every day, and then she got a check in the mail. My check maybe I'm still waiting for my check because it's not here yet. Visualizing every day like this, or I have seen like this one girl. She had like a mood board of some house or something like that. No, it wasn't the house. It was like the bedroom set in the house. And she ended up getting it a few years later. But do you think it was because it was subconsciously in her mind that maybe she remembered? I mean, well, she had seen it. She had seen it. And then a few years later, she saw it again and must have been like, "Oh, I really like that." And didn't realize she liked it in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess The Secret is a funny one because I really want to believe. Like, I want to be one of those people.
I mean, The Secret is a weird one, isn't it? Because people change their life based on that book.
Yes.
And you are led to believe that a lot of successful people have, because they've read that book. But playing devil's advocate, a lot of those people that have read the book have said it unlocked the next level for me. Okay. They were already at level 5.
Okay.
So they're already kind of in compared to you or I, they're already super fucking successful.
Yeah.
And then they go over the top with The Secret book and they realize, oh, now I'm a god. Do you know what I mean? But that's because they've reached some kind of semi-successfulness and they have a bankroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just difficult, I think. I mean, if there was a secret to success, wouldn't we all be millionaires?
No, because some people aren't going to apply it and read the knowledge. I'm still on the fence.
So, I mean, right. So I've got one more book.
Okay.
And it's it's not really a self-help book, but it's one of the only ones that I actually kind of believe in, right?
Okay.
The Tipping Point.
Okay.
All right. Audio guys, yeah, Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell, how the little things can make a big difference. It's about perseverance and putting the effort and the hours in, and eventually things happen. So if you stick with something, if you put your 10,000 hours in, which is what they say, if you have a business and you put 10,000 hours in of your best work, after that, you'll tip and it will become successful because everything has its time.
Yeah.
You've just got to be smart in how you can get to your 10,000 hours. Right. Which to me, that's less self-help and more how to prioritize and progressively move through something and perseverance, because there's one thing being able to work hard. We can all work well, not all of us. I don't love working hard, but we can all work hard, but we can't all persevere when things get a bit shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that book kind of gives you a linchpin of saying this is where you just keep going.
I like that. Maybe I need to read that one.
Yeah, read it. He's got another book too. I forget the name of it. I'm trying to read it from my bookshelf and I can't read it. It's under the book by O.J. Simpson on my shelf called How I Did It. Or was it How I Did It? Or no, If I Did It. Sorry.
Oh, If I Did It.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the if is written in the I of the book. So if you read the side of the book, it just says I did it.
Oh. Is that really by him?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so bold. He's so bold. He's crazy.
O.J. Simpson read The Secret, I guarantee you.
He probably did. He probably did.
Well, Kris Jenner's read it, and she was fucking O.J. at some point. So anyway,
He's not.
because O.J. Simpson's definitely not Khloe Kardashian's dad, is he? No. Anyway, but yeah, self-help books. So, being on the fence is a good place to be.
You think?
Yeah, because I mean, I dismiss them, and maybe that's wrong.
See, I'm willing to give it a try.
Mm.
I really, really, really want The Secret to work for me, and I will probably read it until it works.
I want it to work for you because I want you to get paid.
Did you start seeing my check? Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of take them. What's it called? Like with a grain of salt, because I know that they are basically written to get that person rich already. Like nobody writes a self-help book and doesn't expect to try and make money off of it. I think. I know that these are just words they're writing. I remember sitting there reading one book, writing down all of the steps because I'm like, this is what's going to do it for me. I'm about to be rich. Da 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 da. And that's not, this person she might not have even followed, he or she might have not even followed those steps, but it sounds good on paper. It'll make somebody feel like they can believe in themselves. So I'm like that. I feel like I like hearing positive things. I like hearing stuff that might motivate me a bit more. Like you said, it just motivates you.
Yeah.
And you feel better.
Yeah.
So
and
why not?
Yeah, I think if people are genuinely getting that from it, then they're great, because who is anyone to say that something that brings someone joy and makes you feel better is bad? But I just think that more people need to be like yourself and take them with a pinch of salt. And before you dive headfirst in and believe that Gary Vee is the new messiah, or believe that but doing Tony Robinson's 400 grand course is going to make you into, like the next trillionaire. You have to realize that all of the work comes from you, really. Someone can give you ideas and someone can guide you somewhat and tell you a little bit, but if you're not ready to do it, ain't gonna do it. Ain't shit gonna happen. We've all got dreams. We all want the fucking yacht, but I'll be honest with you, I don't work hard enough. I don't work hard enough, which is why, my skill in life is talking shit, which is why we're doing this, so it's kind of like,
you better put them 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, that's it. So hopefully we do that, and hopefully this gets successful, because I've done the research and I now know that what I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
And until you know that, no book is going to help you do anything more.
True. I guess I can agree.
Yeah, no, you don't have to agree, but you do.
No, I do agree to that because at the end of the day, it's just words on paper. That's all it is. You have to apply stuff to your life and actually you have to change it. No one can change it.
Yeah.
Gary Vee can tell you everything he wants to tell you, but you're the one that's going to change your life to make it however you want to make it.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I guess like it is just everything's down to us. You know, if you don't want to put the work in, sorry. So I mean, no, that's not true. Some people get lucky as a motherfucker.
Yeah, that is true. Sometimes it's who you know.
Yeah, luck is the world's greatest gift.
Yeah, which I have none of. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I love a self-help book, and I'll probably go order that one you just talked about. A different point. I'll probably always read them. I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I think that's the key. But yeah, so if any of you guys have had experience with the self-help books, or if by any chance any of you are billionaires and you're listening to this and you can testimony it all to The Secret or the 4-Hour Work Week or whatever, please let us know. Please sponsor the podcast. And when you put things in the comments, I think it'd be nice to do with some of the stuff that we've done is start talking about the comments on the next episode.
Yeah, that's it.
So we want to get into some of the reasons why you guys think they're shit or they think that they're brilliant, or if you're just like Meka and you're sat right on that fence. All right, guys. Well, that wraps us up again. As we just said, leave some comments and we'll speak to you. Take it easy. Peace.
Peace.